Family court's a business. Hi, my name is George Saldana, and I'm a Harris County Family Court veteran. I've been in the Harris County Family Courts for the last 8 years. This all started when a judge gave me a possession and access order that state that any peace officer may use reasonable efforts to enforce that court order. They don't. They don't use any efforts. So I would call law enforcement when I would show up to my ex's house with my court orders, my certified documents, and law enforcement would just say they're not going to take that complaint. It's a civil matter. The DA doesn't take those charges, blah, 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 blah. They just continue to lie to you, even though on your court ordered documents, by law, it says any peace officer of the state may use reasonable efforts. What I have seen in the last 8 years is Harris County Sheriff's Department, Houston Police Department, Harris County Precinct 4, Mark Herman's office, all refuse to write offense reports for interference with child custody, a state jail felony. Law enforcement, Precinct 4 stated that if I wanted to find my child, I needed to hire an attorney.
Even when he found where Christopher was, he still couldn't get to see him. A full 2 years would go by. You can watch on YouTube what happened right after Christmas in 2019. His ex-girlfriend answers the door, but won't let him in to see his son. The cops come.
I'm gonna go ask her down on your behalf if she's willing to release the kid. If she's not, then it's gonna be documented and we're done. Okay?
But wait till you see who got arrested.
The court order. I have a court order that's supposed to pick up my son, and I'm getting arrested for criminal trespassing.
Saldana gets arrested for trespassing, a misdemeanor, but his ex doesn't get arrested for interference with child custody, a felony. It took almost 3 years to get Judge Sandra Peak to hold Carolyn Pena in civil contempt of court for the repeated violations of the court order, and then she was placed on probation for 10 years.
She violated 5 more times, and we entered a motion to revoke.
It was just 6 weeks later, but Saldana couldn't get another court hearing until May of 2021, even by Zoom. That's another 6 months, a lifetime for a parent already cheated out of so many memories.
A state jail felony, when the person knows that the person's taking or retention is in violation of a court order or judgment. That is a state jail felony. So while law enforcement denies me my right, doesn't obey the order that says that a peace officer may use reasonable efforts to enforce that court order, I've been subjected to only litigate my case in family court. I have to go to family court. I have to pay when the other person is keeping the child away from me, which creates a financial harm. The laws are there to safeguard our fundamental rights to our children. When law enforcement refuses to enforce the court order, it subjects me to a financial claim. I have to hire an attorney. I have to go to court, and then I have to wait until the judge is ready to dispose of the case. You get into amicus, you ad litem's, home studies, protective orders, mediation. You get thrown into the works just because somebody doesn't want to enforce the law. A state jail felony is a big deal. You just cannot not report a felony offense. All felonies shall be forthwith before a magistrate of the county. Who are magistrates? District court judges. District court judges in Harris County are magistrates as per the Code of Criminal Procedure, Chapter 2. So I started filing all my criminal complaints because law enforcement wouldn't give me a criminal complaint. The DA doesn't want to take these charges. They're felony charges on top of that. The role of a judge is to conserve the peace within their jurisdiction, and those jurisdictions include exclusive jurisdiction. There's a section provided in our court orders where it states that that court has exclusive jurisdiction over that court order in which your ex might be violating. But what we're seeing from Harris County, Texas, and all over is one common pattern: the non-enforcement on the criminal side. The civil side, we know you're allowed to perjure yourself without admonishments. Nobody holds aggravated perjury in family court to the law. We legislated that law to protect people from lying in family court. That's why you raise your hand to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Why do we go through these formalities of raising our right hand and then not admonishing people when they lie in court? They're able to lie to gain protective orders, restraining orders, and to keep you from your child. Now, a lot of these judges in Harris County, we've been watching them. We've been watching their actions. We hear about all the judges in Harris County, but we see certain patterns in some of the judges that refuse to uphold the law. So if nobody is enforcing your court order, nobody's enforcing the authority of that court order, law enforcement isn't enforcing the court order, the DA's not safeguarding your fundamental rights, why are we being made to litigate in family court? Why are we made to pay an attorney? The legal profession is protecting themselves by not allowing us to file these criminal complaints for interference with child custody. You're mandated to hire an attorney and go to court. And if you have a judge that doesn't agree with your political beliefs, or she doesn't like men, you're screwed, which is 94% of the non-custodial parents in Texas, men. We see that there's a lot of female judges in Harris County seem to be targeting men. Now, don't get me wrong, there are women that go through this issue, but we see more non-custodial parents when it comes to men, 94% of the time anyway. Is it fair? No. Is it equal? No. But your child suffers. Your child suffers through all of this litigation. The attorneys make money. And at the end of the day, nobody likes the legal profession. Nobody likes family court. And it's time that we start holding these judges accountable. I've started filing criminal complaints into my civil district court. Why? Because I'm not being allowed to make my criminal complaint through law enforcement or the DA's office. We can keep bitching about how they're treating us, or we can actually take a stand and demand accountability and transparency from our elected officials. I also encourage you to not only file judicial grievances with the Texas State Commission on Judicial Conduct on your judge that may be violating you, but I also recommend you filing criminal charges on your judges anytime they oppress you or they abuse their official capacity, abuse of office. With that being said, Harris County is a swamp hole when it comes to possession and access. If you're a parent in family court, I suggest you start learning your rights and you start demanding accountability and transparency. If we just keep bitching about it, this pattern will never get resolved. With that being said, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below.